Hello, this is Dancing Bear,
And this is Koala.
and we are here on a project that I am extremely looking forward to.
We've got another list. If you've
Yes.
seen our first one,
Yes, which I
Well-
presume that's getting uploaded
Yes.
first. Right, okay.
well, that would be why I said first one.
Okay.
I'm not questioning your
Whoa,
intelligence
whoa,
here,
whoa, whoa.
but
I didn't know if you were just being too presumptuous, but
we're
never
now
mind.
doing a second one
Okay.
that only involves, because I want your thoughts on it anyway, every single Star Trek movie made.
And I am looking forward to this.
So, before we swap places and you take control of the computer,
Okay.
I'm just going to put this one here and say nothing.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, hang on, we are moving about yet again. I think, to be honest with you, we are doing our audience a disservice if we don't talk about this. Now, please sit back and let me grit my teeth as we discuss very, very briefly this piece
What,
of
do your teeth freeze?
shit that has to be now considered canon in the Star Trek franchise.
It was the last movie made
Oh, wow. Now,
of that.
anyone who's a Star Trek fan here now, right?
Will obviously love this movie. It's probably my favourite.
I would say the thing that let this film down is that Paramount stopped caring about Star Trek.
For those,
And
we
they
haven't
just
even,
made this film as a money grabber. That's all this movie was.
We haven't even mentioned this film's name.
They portrayed this is, for those who don't know what Star Trek Nemesis is. This is the new rounds are stupid in making this film. The director couldn't even pronounce the cast members' names correctly. Only cast Tom Hardy because he's sexy. Now, I'm bisexual. He doesn't do it for me. So anyone out there, please tell me why Tom Hardy's sexy. I know he's meant to be a sex icon, isn't he?
At this point, he wasn't. This was years before his
Right.
big research.
And they also cast him because they honestly believe Tom Hardy looked like a young Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Not even kidding.
So,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, this was made. It was admitted afterwards.
Yeah.
This was just a money grab movie.
Oh, and
The
Deanna
script,
Troy,
they-
the character, gets violated and doesn't have that doesn't actually have anything to do with the plot, which they just
Yeah.
got that scene in.
They
Horrible film.
They literally, and it is described. They literally put in a mind rape. It's a psychic.
Yeah,
attack
I was trying to
on
avoid the
her.
R word, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
It's what happened. It's a
Yeah.
psychic attack on her that she can't stop.
No,
And it's while she's asleep, and it's so someone can psychically.
absolutely. So
And the villain, we couldn't even think of what he was supposed to be doing in that movie.
No.
What was the end game?
no, and to be honest with you, I'd even go as far as to say it even did the Romulans a disservice. So yeah. Anyway, what's this one? I can't.
Into Darkness, I think.
Into Darkness.
The third movie in the newer series, and I would
The
actually...
second movie in the newer in
No,
the
this-
reboot, because the third one's Beyond. That's Into Darkness is the one with Benedict Cumberbatch playing
Yeah, well,
Khan. That's the
that's
second
the
one.
third one, then. Because this one's
This
Beyond.
is Beyond.
Yeah.
Right, Star Trek Beyond.
I would say out the three movies, that's probably the worst.
Yeah,
I would
I'm
put
going
that...
to-
I can't watch it again.
So see or we can't talk about. I don't hate it. I don't like it, but
I'd put that as C.
a C.
We might move it around later.
Huge room for improvement. Could have
I-
done a lot
I-
more.
Forgot about it about 2 weeks after I watched it.
Oh, wow. So
But
yeah,
in fairness, it had a different writer. It was
understandable.
all written by Simon Pegg.
Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but yeah, it is what it is. So
Not Generations. First Contact.
Top of the top.
That
notch.
is good. That is a
Top
good
notch.
one.
Just if you're a Star Trek fan, and presumably you are, and you're wondering why we've just put First Contact at the top. Just
Although,
what
what is interesting with this list is I had to make it because one for Star Trek movies did not exist.
Wow. So top of the pile so far is Star Trek for First Contact. It explores and sort of explains how Earth became aware that there was other life out there in the Star Trek
Plus,
universe.
it did time travel without being up its
It
own
also
arse.
showed the Borg had a hierarchy, which people don't realise. Before this film came out, there was actually a theory that there was only 12 Borg cubes in the galaxy. They knew nothing of their civilization. It wasn't until First Contact that really explored Borg culture, or they didn't really explore it, but it's the most
And let's
in-depth
face-
story about
she
the
is
Borg we've ever had.
creepy.
She is.
She is probably one. I can still remember the scene of the top half coming down with that.
Yeah, it's good film.
Oh, it's a good film.
Good film. Star Trek Insurrection. I'm gonna have to put it as a C. I don't hate it. I'm not a huge fan of it though.
Insurrection, is that the one where Data sings with Picard?
Yes.
Put it at B.
Put it at B.
Just for that
Just
scene
for that
alone.
scene. Okay, we'll put it at B.
Picard,
Great scene.
Worf, and Data sing. What is it? An English tar.
Yeah. And
That,
what
just for that scene.
What I love about that scene
That's the only
as well
bit of the movie I remember.
is how Michael Dorn, is it, who plays Worf? He's got the character down to a T, and how he's so reluctant to sing because he's very.
Yeah.
He shows Worf. How many times do you see Worf out of his comfort zone? He's like.
It's brilliant.
I love
when
Worf.
Picard's like, "Do you know Gilbert and Sullivan?" No, are they new crew members? No,
the composer's Worf.
They're composers. War.
Oh no, it was something like I think the quotation was, "Are you aware of Gilbert and Sullivan?" No, sir. I have not read the Judy roster. The composer's Worf. The way he said.
Yeah. Hang on. You know what? I've got a good idea.
What?
Say nothing.
And his fist be ever ready for a knockdown blow. His nose should pant and his lip should curl, his cheek should flame and his brow should whirl, his bosom should heave and his heart should glow, and his fist be ever ready for a knockdown blow.
I'm gonna put that clip in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're gonna put that clip in. Fair enough. So. Star Trek Into Darkness, which had Benedict
I
Cumberbatch
really
playing
loved
the
this
No,
one.
I did.
Out
I
of
did.
those three movies, I think that is the strongest one.
Yes,
I
completely
would put
agree.
that at A.
Eh.
I would.
Fair enough. So we have one for every column
Plus,
now,
I
don't
mean,
we?
just for the scene alone. Khan!
I put Insurrection at B, but I'm gonna have to put it at C, to be honest with you.
No. Just I
all
love
right,
it
'cause of
just
that
for that
Yeah, I
scene.
completely
It's
forgot
worth
about
it.
that scene. Okay, we'll put it at B just because of that scene.
Yeah.
Star Trek Into Darkness. Benedict Cumberbatch played a great Khan. I know a lot of people.
He was a sympathetic villain. I did like him.
Yes. It's a good film. It's very much a film.
Because
I
if you flip it on its head, if it was any other movie, Benedict Cumberbatch would have been the hero of that movie for trying to do what he's doing.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. I presume this is the first.
Yeah,
reboot
it
in
was
Star
good,
Trek.
but I'd say that's B or C. I wouldn't say that's amazing. It gave Star Trek a resurgence, but was it really that good?
See,
I'm
I'm not
favourite.
gonna lie. I don't want to put it next to Insurrection because I think it were better.
You can put it in A then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest.
Because
with
my
you.
favourite part of that movie, of the remakes, is Bones.
Yeah,
I love.
great
Are you
actor.
out? Are you out with your Vulcan man?
Green-blooded hobgoblin.
Yeah.
Love some of his quotations. He had the best script bar none.
What is this one?
This is called the motion picture. This is the first.
The original one.
Yeah.
What do you think
film
of Star
feature.
Trek's first foray into?
Well, this.
No,
What?
the only one in that can ever be.
I'm going to have
Nemesis.
to put it. Ooh.
Was this the first time Klingons got their makeover as a bird of prey?
Yeah.
I'd put it at C, just because of its age. But it is
Are you
good.
aware of the plot? Have you ever seen
I
the motion
can't remember
picture?
it.
It's where this huge probe is coming to Earth.
Oh, is
Kirk's
it?
an admiral.
Is it now?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There's a,
hey assholes! It's probing time.
Yeah. This was it. Even a probe. It was this huge cloud coming to Earth. Kirk's an admiral. Kirk takes the Enterprise.
Put it there. Put it there.
Put it at C. Very slow. I understand this was the first motion picture of the Star Trek franchise. This is just before Wrath of Khan. This was made a couple of years just before Wrath of Khan, which is really weird. I think it was the first example.
How was it
where...
made just for Wrath of Khan if Wrath of Khan was number 4?
No, Wrath of Khan's 2.
Is it?
It goes, right, motion picture, Wrath of Khan, because that's where Spock dies. Search for Spock.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Well, come on. If you're
For a-
watching
for a
this and not expecting
40-year-old movie.
spoilers. Yeah. Anyway, it goes motion picture, Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, The Voyage Home, The Final Frontier, that's the one with Spock's brother, and The Undiscovered Country.
Try and quiet yourself a tiny bit.
Sorry, I'm very excitable. So yeah, anyway, I'd put the motion picture there.
These pictures weren't great, I found, admittedly. So
No, that's Generations.
I loved Generations.
Right. I have a weird relationship with this film. Very bizarre relationship. I like it, but I realised another one that there was a lot of potential there. That it has its novelty. It's the film people associate when Kirk meets Picard, and that's what they was commercialising. That was the go-to thing when they was advertising it. I don't think it's top notch.
I'd put it.
I'd put it. I think
it's probably the Star Trek movie I've watched the most.
Yeah, it's more solid. Wrath of Khan. Just watch it. I'm not even going to go into detail.
S.
Yes, S. I agree.
It's probably one of the best.
Yes. The Search for Spock. Now, a lot of people don't know this. I'm using my quiet voice now because I get very excited.
Have we done all of the Next Generation movies?
Yeah, they only did about 2. Was it 2 or 3? 3?
Yeah. 2. They did 2 movies and 1 mistake.
Yeah. Yes, they only did 3. No, going back to what I was saying before. Search for Spock. The reason why the Search for Spock was made is when people found out there was a lot of people talk about spoilers like it's a terrible thing, but people knew Spock was going to die in the Wrath of Khan before it came out, and they received fan mail. I won't call it fan mail. The producer and the makers of Wrath of Khan received mail saying if Spock dies, you die. Not even kidding. So they we're gonna bring Spock back.
To put it in modern day, that's like the T-shirt said: "If Daryl dies, we riot."
yeah, pretty much. And there was actually fans threatening the families, saying they were going to kill him if they were going to kill Spock.
Well, that's how big an impact this is. I mean, it had a big impact. Yeah. For a show that got cancelled after 2 seasons because no one watched it. So
I will say is I watched the Star Trek movies quite recently after Leonard Nimoy died, and Leonard Nimoy has a big speech in the opening sequence in The Search for Spock. You know, Space, the Final Frontier, and the way he words it and the music. Well, you know what I'm on about. The ending scene in Wrath of Khan when Spock's. I watched that days after I found out Leonard Nimoy died. So really, just think about that one.
He also sang a song about being a hobbit.
Yeah. Good song actually.
Bilbo.
I'm happiest I've ever seen him in that video. But anyway, I don't think it's as good as them. I don't think it's as bad as that. So I'm going to have to put it.
Yeah, but it's B. It's not bad. It's a passable movie. Yeah. It's good. So
I'm going to have to put it with these. Now then.
I liked number 4, but the only scene I can remember is when that guy's on the...
Get the whales? They have to go back in time to the 1980s?
No, the only bit I remember is when they're in the past and that it's on like a tram or something and Spock knocks that guy out with a boombox. So I put that at B.
Interesting fact for you about this one. If you haven't noticed, this particular Star Trek movie is probably the most comedic out of them all. It is. There is a reason for that. Why it was actually going to be have a serious tone. But what happened in 1986? The Challenger blew up, and so when there was just in post production as the Challenger blew up, and obviously people, especially during the Cold War, I'd like to say is. Basically, people was looking to the stars, as it were. And there's been an argument that ever since the accident, the tragic accident of the Challenger, people's hopes was somehow the morale of people looking to the stars wasn't there anymore. So when they were making this film, they turned around and said, look, we got to make this so people not necessarily forget. So sort of like...
Give them hope again.
Give them hope again. So they made it into a comedy.
I would pull it a B, though.
B. No, I wouldn't say it was the best, but it's not Insurrection bad, so it's definitely. I laugh, I enjoy it.
Down one. I would put it at Insurrection.
Ooh.
They both had quite a comedic tone.
The plot's stupid. I will say that an alien travels just to speak to whales again. So no way I'm doing
it. I would put. They've got quite a comedic tone.
Have you seen the one with Spock's brother, The Final Frontier?
I probably have, but I can't remember.
It's where. See, this is a controversial
I know that last one there is a Star Trek poster.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it and seeing Independence Day.
Right. Search for Spock. Final Frontier is a controversial one because I think I told you this before on the podcast. I know someone actually said to me that the reason why this is so unliked is because nerds or geeks or people who just appreciate Star Trek for what it is doesn't like sci-fi getting involved in their religion. Now, this is about, just bear with me, if you don't remember the plot, Spock's brother kidnaps ambassadors from the Federation, from Romulans and Klingons, nicks the starship, nicks the Enterprise to get media attention because he wants to meet God. Now that, you might not appreciate the significance of that, but that is brave. They travelled to the centre of the galaxy to try and meet God. It turns out that Spock's brother is... I'm not even going to say it, but
he has mental health issues.
Yeah.
Which for a Vulcan...
I think it was bold. I think it was outside the
box. It was bold,
yeah.
But enough about that. How would you rate it as a movie?
Well,
as a movie, forget all the shit behind it. How did you rate it?
So I do really like it. I'm not going to put it up there, but I know people are going to hate me for this. People expect me to put it there because people hate this show. This particular film. They hate it. I don't hate this. I really like it. It's like Blackjacks. I don't know. You know, everyone complains about licorice sweets, and I love them. I just
Blackjacks are aniseed flavour. Your argument's invalid.
Yeah.
Everyone hates that tea I drink.
Now, I have a feeling you're going to disagree with me on this one. The Undiscovered Country. Now, but
I haven't seen it.
I want you to.
In years.
I'm going to explain the basic plot. You should really watch it. This was made...
I remember you telling me.
I'm going to tell our audience very, very quickly. This was made... Star Trek has been brilliant in mirroring reality, in the political aspects, even the most sensitive issues of reality. Star Trek was made during the time of Martin Luther King, so it was great on equality. It tackled racism, blah, 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 blah. Undiscovered Country was made during the fall of the Soviet Union, and it was tackling the issue of, imagine you spending your entire life believing that the other superpower at the other side of the wall were your enemies, and now you had to make friends with them. And it also tackled, this film in particular tackled these Federation officers that were so used to hating Klingons, didn't want to be friends with them because they got used to they saw the idea. They just, well, not even so much as that, they forgot they were people. It tackled, I dare say, even tackled issues like immigration, because they were talking, where are these Klingons going to go? They can't live with us. There was a lot of... You need to see it.
Yeah.
And even Spock...
Because the premise is the Klingon planet is dying.
One of Spock's quotes in this film is, only Nixon could go to China. Do you know what that actually means? Because they sent Kirk to make peace with the Klingons. These people... In Kirk's mind, you actually see Kirk at war, in conflict with himself. And Spock says, if we don't help them, they'll die. Let them die. He hated the Klingons. It tackles racism. He's coming to grips. These people killed his son in his eyes. He's still grieving for his son.
He's judging the entire race.
Yeah, he's judging the entire race.
That did him wrong.
Yeah. So it's really interesting. And for those out there, I know I'm going off topic ever so slightly. Those out there, did Kirk mean what he said? No, but this is what grief does. You say things you don't mean. Brilliant film. I think in some ways...
From what you've said and how poignant it is, I would put it as one of the best Star Trek
I
movies.
think it is. I was worried, to be honest with you, were going to disagree with me, and that's why I
Where
was
did it go?
up. It's over here. Don't worry. Yeah, it's one of the best. And the reason why I'm saying all this is that I was constructing a defence why I think it deserves to be on top of there. This, I won't say ahead of its time, it was a product of its time. You got to think, people coming in to watch this film was the Soviet Union just ended. The Berlin Wall had just collapsed. These people that we were so used to calling communists weren't America's enemy anymore. And apparently they struggled to adapt to that. They were so used to Russia being the enemy, the people we hate. What happens when those walls collapse? Do you just stop that hate? Does that hate just disappear? And that's what this film questioned. Sorry, you can tell I'm quite passionate about it.
Well, that has been quite a nice little video.
Thank you, Tar. Sorry for going off on a tirade.
No,
But I'm very passionate about Star Trek.
Your point, I mean, that hate's still very much there in some parts of the world. But I have been thinking about doing this series for a bit. So what do you think about this sort of video?
I'm enjoying myself. I'm not going to lie. I'm enjoying doing these...
they're not as funny, they're more factual, or just our opinions, and maybe people get to know us. I'm thinking of maybe doing a MCU one.
Absolutely. That'd work.
A fantasy one.
That'd work.
And I'm going to fill, I think, one up with just The Witcher.
Right, no worries.
So,
Which top 8 episodes were best?
Yeah. But no,
probably still work that actually. I reckon that people watch
a
that.
fantasy one, MCU one. What else could we do?
You could do loads, to be honest
with
with you.
like
Star
games,
Wars movies,
things like that. Star Wars movies, we could do in a rate.
Yeah.
I could have joined that with this Star Trek and Star Wars.
Yeah.
But anyway,
In the way,
I have been Just Tom,
and I've been
or Koala.
I